So I grew up on a farm, and we had pigs and we had vegetables and we had flowers. But already when I was a very small kid, I had a passion for the plants. And I knew already at that time, I wanted later to work with plants. And I was fascinated by how they were growing, how they were functioning. So for me, it was sure what I wanted to study. And later that I wanted to do research on plants, in particular on plants in controlled environments. Initially, that was only in greenhouses. But for that research in the greenhouses, to really understand the plants, you want to control all the conditions. So we did do already research in climate rooms. What's now the nice things? Now we have climate rooms and we grow plants in many layers above each other. This is now indoor farming, vertical farming. And so that type of research very nicely fits in the developments of from greenhouse, more and more control. Now we have a full control in the indoor farming, and where we can do excellent research on studying how the plant responds to the environment, but not just how it responds, but then the next question is also, of course, how to use the environment, how to use the crop management to control the growth and the quality of the plants. So I started the research for crops grown in greenhouses. Initially, a lot of that research was in the climate rooms. And then from that, gradually, we saw the advantages of working in fully controlled conditions. That I got really interested in that vertical farming could really be an option. I think it's about 10 years or a little more than 10 years ago. Then I saw, okay, now the lamps, in particular, the lamps are getting more efficient. And I think that's quite crucial to make the system cost effective, sustainable. And that is still, I think, a big thing. A lot of the light, the energy which is needed for the lamps, but we see now so much improvement has been improved. Further improvements are possible, that it has met one of the crucial aspects to make vertical farm work. What in my perspective is very important is this control of the plants. I think modern systems, you want to have a full control over the production process, whether it's with plants or with anything else in the world. Here we're focusing now on the food production, or in general plant production, because I think it can be more than just food. So for me, this full control that we can grow, that we can decide on what we want to grow, what we want to produce every day of the year, on any place on Earth. That is for me the most important. Besides that, there are of course many other things, but that has to do with how efficient is it that we can grow so much of plants on a very little area, that we can grow it with so little of water. We don't need much of the nutrients, that we can do it with pesticides, without pesticides, but also that there are a number of challenges on how to reduce the energy savings. So that leaves for me as a researcher many things to improve, and that I'm convinced that the quality in these systems can be much better than in other type of systems, but still that we can do much better than we do at this moment. And then we need to fully understand the system. So this is really, as a researcher, an excellent area where we can do the research, and also where that can be directly applied by the talk. First of all, about what are all the potentials of controlling the plants in a vertical farming, how we can use the environment, the crop management, to grow crops at a very high speed, so with a very high production level of a very consistent quality, and which quality is at a higher level than conventional production. So I will address some of the sustainability aspects, some of the physiology of the plants, and how we use the physiology to control the production process of the plants. And then I may also say a few words on what type of monitoring tools we can use, because in the end, I think we need less and less people working there, and that we're going towards an autonomous cultivation of the crops, that we have a vertical farm somewhere in the world. We have there a lot of sensors, and we have maybe at another place, we have a control room with some computers looking at those systems, and where in fact the whole production can be controlled.